okay, wow, this is different, isn't it? So I'm actually just got a few minutes before I have to leave for church, so I thought I would kind of shoot this intro to this video. A while back, I did a video on the Hatsan model 125 QE sniper break action air rifle, and this features the Quattro trigger and the Vortex piston. It's not a spring gun, it's a piston gun. So anyway, three things came out of that video. Thing number one, overwhelmingly from a lot of people anyway, was that I'm an idiot. I was shooting at my neighbor's house, and that was a stupid thing to do. And so I will address that in just a minute. I think there's some validity to that comment. You know, I'm not perfect, and I'm certainly willing to admit my mistakes. Thing number two was that I'm really not probably the best marksman in the world, period. And thing number three was that I need to learn to do the artillery hold. That's gonna work a lot better with a break action spring or piston gun because of the double recoil effect that it seems to have. So at least two of those things are what we're going to talk about next, coming up here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, first of all, we're going to take you to the shooting range here, footage in just a minute, and see how well I did, or if I could see any difference between artillery hold and what I would consider a regular firearms hold. First of all, let me just address this issue of me being an idiot and shooting at my neighbor's house. First of all, yeah, I guess that's right. One of the sort of right, in my opinion. I'm not trying to straddle the fence here, but I will say that in my mind, I was being completely safe. The camera certainly made it look like the house was a lot closer than it was, and a lot at a different angle. I felt like I was shooting downhill into not only into a wood pile, but behind that wood pile, there's a bank and a little creek and a gully, and the house behind me is actually probably 20, 25 feet higher in elevation. It didn't look like that on the camera, but it really is. But either way, I completely understand the concern people had, and to be honest with you, as I thought about it, and I made some comments in that video, yep, I screwed up, I won't do it again, and I haven't. If my neighbor was doing that, even though he thought it was probably perfectly safe, I might be a little nervous because I don't have a lot of confidence in other people's safety, and certainly there's no reason for them to have confidence in mine, so I get it, okay? So I apologize for that. Don't blow Hatsan up about it. They didn't tell me to do that. It was my fault, and I screwed up. That's all I can do. Forgive me or not, whatever. It's not happened again, and it won't happen again. That's why this footage is at the shooting range that you're about to see. Honestly, it's just, I guess, an air rifle to me is not considered that big a deal. I realized after the last shots I made in that video, by the way, we're punching through a 1/2-inch pine board, which I called it a hard piece of wood. A lot of people corrected me, said pine's not hardwood. Whatever, it's hard. Hit yourself in the head with it and see if it hurts. But anyway, again, that's all I'm going to say about that. I screwed up. I did, so there we go. So I'm not doing it anymore, and nobody was hurt, so thankfully. So anyway, that being said, I guess the only other thing I could do maybe to make some people happy would be maybe, to cut my arm off or something, and I'm not going to do that. So that's all I got to say about that. Now, artillery hold. What I was doing and what I've always done with a firearm was, you got to tuck it in tight, and you got to support it really, really well so there's no movement, and you really got this thing supported and locked in to so that when you squeeze the trigger, it doesn't jump around. So that's what I was doing, and at 25 yards, my shots were kind of all over the place, and it should be pretty accurate at 25 yards, I would think, because this gun has a reputation for being accurate. So a lot of people tell me you should be doing the artillery hold because what happens is that there's like a double kind of a recoil when the spring breaks and then the air pushes forward, or the piston goes and the air pushes forward. It's kind of a double thing, and that if you're holding it too tight, it'll make it jump around. So basically, I got on the internet and tried to figure out what the artillery hold is, and basically they call it artillery hold because it's not supported. It's allowed, in the olden days, a cannon, when it fired, it was just allowed to roll back on its wheels or on its mount or whatever, and then it would push it forward again. So what I did was I put my hand, instead of holding it here, put my hand out flat like this, and then I tried to just rest it against my shoulder and use as little pressure as I could and still maintain an even trigger pull at the range. And I did that at 25 yards. I did 5 shots basically with holding it normal, and then you'll see this in a minute. I did 5 shots just as gently as I could. So we'll go ahead and cut to that footage now, and I'll come back and wrap this up. We're shooting the H&N Sport Hornet pellets here, which rank about 4 on the precision scale. The first 5 shots were with what I would consider a regular hold, and trying to tuck it in tight, hold it steady as I can, looking through the scope. Then I did 5 shots using my best rendition of an artillery hold. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, I don't know, but this is, I tried to really not put any more pressure on the rifle than possible as I squeeze the trigger as smoothly as possible. You got to kind of hold it a little bit on the grip to keep your trigger squeezed good. But so let's take a look at the target now and see if there's any big difference. This is the regular hold on the for the air rifle, and somewhere right in here, I think. And then this is my grouping with the artillery hold, which as you can see is a little bit better. Again, a little closer. Regular hold, artillery hold. Okay, well that was my hound dog comparison of a regular hold to an artillery hold. Gotta say, given the fact that I am certainly not the greatest marksman in the world, no sense pretending I am, that it seemed to be probably a little better grouping pattern control on the artillery hold. One of the drawbacks I have to it is that it seems to be a little harder for me to keep it from wobbling around on target if I'm not really supporting it. So probably a lot more experience would help that, but it does seem to help a little bit. So I got to say, at least in my opinion, artillery hold is the way to go with the break barrel air rifle. So once again, thanks to the folks at Hatsan for loaning me this so I could do some demo on it and show it to you. And thanks also to everybody who was so quick to point out my glaring safety issue. I'm really, truly, I appreciate it. I don't want to do something stupid, and I don't want to be setting a bad example for people. So there's that. And thanks to the people several people that suggest the artillery hold. I'm going to keep working on that as I go. And thanks to Advanced Bullet Shooting Range too for letting me come out there and film. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. I hope you will accept my sincere apology for being stupid. Every now and then I am. And as always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out a new one right here. If you're not subscribed, please click down in the corner and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. So be prepared. I'll see you next time.